and off to Toronto for a 3-game set starting tomorrow. God, that was fun. That was a fun series.
It was. What else is fun? I noticed it with Javi the other night when he hit the walk-off home run. When the guys came out with the Gatorade bucket for him,
yeah,
he wasn't like scurrying to run away. He stood and like spread his arms out like, let's go. Yep. And they didn't dump him from behind. They dumped the water on him from in front. And Malloy last night was kind of like the same thing. He's rounding first base, and everybody starts to run out to the field. And I think Chris McCoskey of the News asked him, he's like, is that kind of terrifying to see these guys come out? And he goes, no. He goes, that's just pure excitement. I love it. And they come out with the talcum powders, the new thing, I guess. But they're all loving it. And why wouldn't you? This is why you play the game.
All right, I got a question for you. Would you like an analytics thought on the Tigers? Or would you like can you believe 1 year later fact? See, but I don't want you to dismiss the analytics. I think you'll get on board.
Look, because there's some analytics I like and some analytics I think are just made up. But let's go with the analytics.
Okay.
See if we get the eye roll or not.
So CBS Sports did a story about the Tigers and about how, are they authentically the best team in baseball? Like, are they really the best team in baseball? And the guy who wrote it, Dane Perry, is a big analytics guy, but he has a couple here that make a lot of sense. There is something called expected weighted on base percentage. That is, you already don't like it. It measures, it basically, can we agree that a hard hit baseball leads to greater projected success than a bloop?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I just think that everything finds its level. It's baseball. You got 162 games, so sometimes you hit the ball hard and you get nothing out of it. Sometimes you hit the ball soft and you get everything out of it.
Exactly.
It all works itself out. So.
But would you say, as a general rule, you hit the ball hard?
You'd rather have guys that can barrel it up.
Yep.
Yes.
So the Tigers' expected weighted on base percentage, which is your walks plus what your batting average should be based upon how hard you hit the ball. Okay, if they've taken all the hard hit balls and barreled and exit velos, and they can calculate what your batting average should be, meaning how many atom balls are you hitting? How many times do you smoke the ball right at? Didn't they last night? I think they smoked one right at second base, for instance.
Yeah.
The Tigers' offense is actually should be producing more than they are based on how hard they hit the baseball, which is an interesting. So their expected weighted on base percentage is higher than their actual on base percentage, meaning they are they're not getting as rewarded for as many hard hit baseballs as they have, which says that, like you said, in the end, it all averages out. Mm-hmm. Keep hitting the ball hard, they'll actually be better. And they've been hitting the ball very hard this year. They've been barreling it up, which is really cool. But you start getting into their defensive metrics above average. All their pitching metrics are above average. The analytics world loves what this Tiger team is doing. But that one, and I know there's batting average on balls in play, which is one I've struggled to comprehend, but there's metrics that say some of the guys are probably getting rewarded more than they should. But when these things even out, if the Tigers are authentically this good offensively, it is far exceed. Like, we knew the starting pitching was going to be good. And we knew that A.J. Hinch had trust in this bullpen. I'm not sure we knew how good they could be offensively, but it sounds like they can authentically be damn good. And defensively, they've been pretty good. They've been a plus defensive team too.
Yeah, they have been, and they've got defensive runs saved is an interesting stat to look at with that. And Javi Baez has been spectacular in center field. Now he's played 21 games there. He's looked fantastic out there. The eye roll I'll give to the analytics approach with the expected on base percentage or whatever. It's all teams in baseball look at the data. So part of that data is, how do you counter that? Well, this guy barrels it up and he hits the ball typically to left center field. Okay, we'll shade the left center field to give ourselves a better opportunity of making a play on this line drive that's hit, that in some weird analytics world says, oh, that's a base hit 80% of the time, but not when you start looking at everything. You look at spray charts and everything else. So that's why I just kind of take it all with a grain of salt.
It's a lot of math. It's a lot of math to get somebody like you to accept. It's not why I hate. Look, I hate math, but that's not why I hate it. Or hate's even the wrong word. It's just I take it
there's validity to it, and then there's another side to it. There's more information, more data you have to look at other than just throwing this number at you, because give credit to a defense that's well prepared in how to position themselves in the infield and the outfield. But I understand.
Here's a net from the story, again, by an analytics guy on CBS Sports. He writes, this broad-based excellence tracks. It wouldn't be surprising to see the Tigers top almost all comers when it comes to all-star selections. Names like Skubal, Torkelson, Mize, Green, Baez, Torres, Canely, and maybe even Dylan Dingler figure to wind up having compelling all-star cases to varying degrees. This is a deep roster with star power and one of baseball's best managers pulling the levers. Indeed, the Tigers in 2025 are doing everything well, and that's why they've emerged as one of the true power teams in baseball. I'm not going to shy away from the praise, whether it's from Jim Bowden, who's kind of an old school GM guy yesterday, who said the Tigers without a doubt are for real, or new school analytics Dane Perry from CBS Sports. They're getting love from all directions.
Well, I'm not going to hold my breath and thinking the Tigers going to get a bunch of all-stars starting the game, because that's a fan vote.
No,
and they're part of it and all that, and so I wouldn't see that. Do I expect to see multiple Tigers on the all-star roster? I would hope so, and they're going to be different names. Riley Green might make it. He's good grief, he's doing really well lately. And I think if you just look at numbers straight up, Gleyber Torres should be there as a middle infielder because of what he's doing at second base has been great. And Javi Baez is the story of baseball right now. That his numbers are now creeping up because he's playing every day now. And they're really, really good when he's, I think, 7th in the American League in hitting. And he doesn't, you can't just pitch him in one position, which is a bonus and maybe not so much. Like I'd probably better for him that he's got the versatility where he's played at short, third, and center field. That if you're the manager for the All-Star team and you start filling in your reserves, you're like, well, I want Javi. Why? Well, because I can put him anywhere in the outfield and almost anywhere in the infield.
Feedback coming in. After the last 220 games, how do you not call Hinch a mad scientist? Dan Campbell's good and all, but Hinch is by far the best manager in Detroit right now. I wouldn't say by far. And this is also not an argument I particularly, okay, whatever. If you think Hinch is better than Dan Campbell, fine. I don't think it really matters. They're both great.
You can make your case for either one of them, for sure. And
you could throw in Bickerstaff.
I was just going to say, you could throw Bickerstaff in there too and try to decide who's done more with less or whatever. And the Lions have built that team up in the draft primarily, and given guys opportunities at early stages of their career, and they've coached them up, and that's impressive. AJ Hinch is kind of doing the same thing. Scott Harris is getting either whether they're cast-offs or players that have matriculated through their own system. This is not a team that has been chock full of all-stars that Hinch was handed. They're molding him into a really nice team, and they're playing better baseball than anybody else in the league right now and have for the last 70 games. You can make a really compelling case there. And, of course, what Bickerstaff has done in 1 year to the next, going from 14 wins to 44 wins in the next season, primarily with, maturation, growth, and then a few acquisitions he made prior to the season and one during the season. It's very impressive. All three coaches have done a remarkable job, and even to a point, not at the same level, but McClellan, when he first came on, he had 2 7-game win streaks, and then the team flamed out at the end, but he's got a ways to go, but all coaches and managers seem to be moving up.
Gary at work says, re-sign Torres and trade Young, Keith, and Montero for quality starting pitching. Gary, here's the thing. These are questions for tomorrow, and by tomorrow, I mean down the road. The thing is, when we get to the trade deadline, there'll probably be some need that emerges, really a screaming need. So there's no point, this whole theory that propose a trade that Gary has done here is way premature to even start thinking about as far as I'm concerned. But from an unnamed texter, Badu's first game of the year, which kind of came out of nowhere, he makes a very nice diving catch. Mm-hmm. It's the small things from players you don't expect that make this team so much fun to watch. I'll give Scott Harris credit when he builds a team. He's made a few decent moves, but this is Avila's team. They look great. It looks like Avila was building a dynasty. I give Avila to 80 85% of the Karsch and Anderson credit pie. Yeah, I mean, Avila, that's a whole nother topic that we were going to bring up today. I give Harris a bunch of credit. I give Avila a bunch of credit. But Harris has done, I don't know if I go 80 to 85, but Avila, I mean, I wonder how Al Avila feels today. Like, Al Avila probably feels a sense of vindication because it must suck to get, I mean, it must suck to get fired. You get to run an organization, you get fired, but then you see all your guys eventually matriculate to the major league level. Not all your guys, many of your guys. And I mean, it's got to be gratifying for him that he got fired because he couldn't make the proper major league acquisitions.
Right. I mean, the trades were horrific with what they got in return. They got nothing in return, and that hurts. And that's the problem with drafting in baseball is that you don't see these guys until 3 to 5 years down the line after you've drafted them.
Yep.
And then when you do see them, it takes them a year or two before you really start to see what they can do. But Al Avila was properly fired, and Al Avila has been properly praised, I think, for what he did with the draft. There's no question that he's gotten his flowers when it comes to guys like Skubal and Carpenter and others. I mean, he's done a nice job. He did a nice job with drafting with this team.
248-539-9797. More of your phone calls and feedback coming up. We'll get back to something that's hard to believe 1 year later. It's amazing what's going on with this Tiger team, and we'll get to that today at 10:50 here on 97.1 The Ticket.